Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirlastrologer, and I wanted to come back on tonight and do a little bit of question and answer on my last video. I did get a lot of response, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm talking about generational planets and how they really affect us and how they affect us to this day, not just at the time that we were born. So it's really an interesting study, and it takes a lot to really, to really understand it and to be able to see the future, and to be able to see exactly how it impacts us. So some of the questions that I got, and just to clarify, I've been talking about the Pluto and Virgo generation. And this is a period of time for those of you who are born from 1957 to 1972. And the reason why I'm talking so much about this particular generation right now is because we are being ignited. We are being ignited to come to the forefront right now. And for a lot of people that are born in this generation, we're really feeling lost, okay? Because we're going through so much change. And if you don't understand what's happening, it's really easy to get kind of lost in the mix. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight, is some steps that we, the Pluto in Virgo generation, can take to move forward, okay? Now, I was hoping, I put this group chat thing on. I'm trying to do it where you guys can ask me questions here. So I don't know if you can. I see a thing that says questions, but I've never been successful doing this part. So if you see a place you want to ask me a question, you type it in. Please feel free to do that. Or you can put it in the comments below. But I just wanted to, talk about, again, what is happening right now. Astrologically, I believe that's very, very important to the Pluto and Virgo generation. One of the most important things that is happening is right now the North Node is in Virgo, okay? This is about a year and a half, okay, that this happens, and the North Node moved into Virgo last October 2015, okay? So what is this? This is a very, very powerful energy that changes the course of people's lives that are affected and really influenced by the particular sign and time period. And so because the North Node is in Virgo, it is fueling and touching anything in your chart that has Virgo in it. That's just lighting it up. So for a lot of us that do, or, we're born during this Pluto and Virgo generation, and then to be more specific, really 1963 to 1968, Uranus and Pluto were conjunct in Virgo, okay? Very, very special group of people, because when Uranus and Pluto are conjunct, it's very rare. And when you look back at the 60s, go back, get on YouTube and watch, the documentaries about the 60s, you guys. It's fascinating. And it'll really give you some tips to who we are. We were born during this revolution, and it's in our DNA. There's things that happened during that time period that are now being reignited and are now being recharged. And we have to finish what wasn't finished there. How do we do that? How do we do that? We're searching that out right now. We're all searching that out right now. And I think that, when you look back in history at the things that were invented during the 1960s, I mean, they did the first orbit around the moon. You know, we did have some assassinations that were very intense. If you look at John F. Kennedy, he was assassinated in 1963 at the very beginning of Pluto and Uranus in Virgo. Okay. And at the end of that cycle in 68, Bobby Kennedy was assassinated. So there was a lot going on at that time. Gosh, there's so much I want to talk about. Even looking back at the presidents at that time, I've totally lost the name. It wasn't Nixon. I want to say Johnson. Whoever would go look at the chart. Okay, this is your guys' homework of the president that came after John F. Kennedy. And he had sun, rising, and moon in Virgo. All right. He came in during this Uranus, Pluto, Virgo energy. He also had a Saturn in Aries. And at that time, Saturn was in Aries. So there's a lot of things to look at when we look at our generation, you guys. What I want to try to give you tips with, and what I'm looking at for myself too, is to say, you know, look at what Saturn you were born under during that time, okay? Because, you know, from 1965 to 1967, Saturn was in Pisces. You see a lot of people born during that time who are heading up AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, and taking the drug culture on a whole new level, because Saturn and Pisces, you know, really slapped them all on the hand. They had to find a way to stay sober. And so, but there are drug counselors, there are very intuitive people. And then, you know, from 68 to, I think, 70-ish, Saturn was in Aries. Okay. So now you have this 3-year period, 2.5-year period of these Virgo and Pluto people. Okay. You see, we're all a little different. So you don't only want to look at Pluto, you want to look at where's your Saturn? Where was your North Node? Okay, that also will help give some direction to what part of this story, what character do you play? If you look at what's happening right now, you know, we're going back to the earth. Are you guys not seeing it everywhere on Facebook? It's like, you know, going back to herbs, going back to cannabis, finding out that cannabis now is the cure-all. Okay. You know, looking at how we're eating, looking at the pesticides, looking at the chemtrails, looking at the earth, looking at the animals, you know, really heavy on animal abuse and not, you know, accepting that anymore. All right. There's so much going on scientifically right now. And one thing also is during that time period, and you can kind of go back and look at his documentary, but Steve Jobs, that's when, you know, he started that first Microsoft. All that he did, we have carried forward. That's our gift. And if anything I can tell you guys, just is just my own personal opinion and experience from my view, we're kind of it's a tough generation for, or a tough situation for Pluto and Virgos, because we're not quite as good on the internet as our children, but we know we have to get on here. And it really is about learning to find a new way to share your message. We have the gift of hands, but our bodies are broke down now from all the years of construction and all the years on our feet and all the years of working so hard. We have to use our minds now. And I went back to school, you know, in my 40s, just tuning up my writing skills and learned how to navigate the internet. I'm out here talking to you guys because I went back and learned some things, and this is how I can continue to share my message and live the life that I want to live with my family. You know, and I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm just like you guys. We're all just trying to figure this thing out, you know, what it is we're doing. And I'm super bummed right now that I don't think I can see any questions, you guys. Let me look on YouTube. I don't know why. I must be like disabled or something. I'll have to figure that out. Let me look and see if you guys have any questions. Bear with me. I don't even know if this will be streaming yet. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get any questions, but I did want to offer, okay, I did want to offer a little contest because I want to give a little free reading to someone. So the contest is this. What song came out in 1967 by the Beatles? Okay, so the first one to put that song down, I'll give a little free reading to, and I'll maybe have to come on it tomorrow night or something and finish that up. I just wanted to continue this conversation with you guys because I feel like we're going through such transformation right now. In 1968, Jupiter was in Virgo. Sun, Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus conjunction. There was a period of time, very exclusive period of time that those things were happening. I mean, mainly Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. And so this is the year that Jupiter is now going direct in Virgo, conjunct the North Node. Those of us born during this time period are really going to be asked to step up and to specialize in something. Virgos, let's look. Number one, entrepreneurs. We know how to package anything. We're not that pushy, but we're really good teachers. Very, very good detailed teachers. So what is it that you can do? Because Virgos, and especially our generation, have been through hell and back the last few years. You know, in 2007 to 2009, Saturn was in Virgo. And we had to look, all of our structures were just piece by piece taken down. And then Saturn went into Libra. And that really dealt with our financial issues, relationship issues, marriages, all those things, families. Tough stuff. Then Saturn went into Scorpio, our third house of relationships, people, communication, brothers, sisters, issues. Okay, so Virgos have had to look at those issues. And now Saturn is in Sagittarius in our fourth house. And this is the fourth house of the Pluto and Virgo collective, is in Sagittarius, our home. So fourth house can be home business. Sagittarius gives us an opportunity to do a home business around the world. Okay. You know what? It's so interesting to me because, like I said, and I'll just tell you a little bit of my story here in a minute, but I was a backyard outdoor cowgirl. I was out working with horses, people, teaching, training. My dream come true. It was fabulous. And when Saturn and Virgo hit, you know, everybody's lives. I lived in a town of a lot of entrepreneurs. So, you know, small businesses, we were all just like, oh my gosh, we're having a hard time. And, you know, I had a late in life baby. I have a 5-year-old. So I couldn't normally go get a job, or I had to be home with him. There wasn't anybody that I could get to watch him. He's a very active boy. And I had to figure something out. So fortunately, I had gone to college when I was younger, so I had some credits, and I ended up, going on online school, Full Sail University, their creative writing for entertainment program. 3.5 years. I have a bachelor's degree, Bachelor's of Fine Arts in creative writing for entertainment. And in that process, one of the assignments was for me to start a YouTube channel. It was just supposed to be kind of just like a little assignment. How many comments did you get? Did you get any likes? They wanted to show that you did it. So I thought, you know what? I have this little closet astrology thing that I love to do. I'll just do astrology video. That'd be fun. And I'll turn it as an assignment. Well, from that process, and then also then looking at other YouTube astrologers and seeing this movement happen, I was like, oh my gosh, there's other people out here like me. And they're, and they're getting the entertainment bug and this communication. I was just so excited. So that was 4 years ago. I've been really slowly building this channel. It's just, I take my time on it. I put my family first. I do a minimal of readings, but you know what? I'm doing readings all over the world. Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius. I have clients that call me from the UK. I'm like, this is so cool. And so, I'm just building it slowly. I'm working on a book. I'm working on some products. And that's all this Virgo energy. This is my Jupiter return right now. I'm born during Jupiter and Virgo, so 1968. So this is my chance. What I'm doing this year is going to plant the seeds for the next 12 years of my life. And for you guys too. This is a really important year for all of us to plant seeds. And the other thing I wanted to say about this special period of time, this Uranus-Pluto period, 1963 to 1968. Those of you guys who are born a little more exclusively in that period. There's something really special about us. I get to say us. We're born during a movement. We were born during the Jesus movement. And I talk about that in the other video. We were born during the revolution. We were born during Martin Luther King. We were born during, Man on the Moon. We were born during Vietnam. Okay, war, revolution. We have a lot of complicated parts of ourselves, a lot of this history that runs in our veins. And, people from Vietnam, right now, they're trying to survive. They have post-traumatic stress syndrome, and we're the healers. So we need to be reaching out to people like that. We need to be reaching out. The animals, because Virgo rules small animals, we need to be the ones to making sure that animals are getting adopted and people are getting, work in the animal industry. You may be sitting here going, I don't know what to do with my life. I've lost my business, lost my job, lost my family, lost everything. I have no idea what to do. Well, first of all, look at your hands. Pluto and Virgo people, we can write. We can organize. We can make websites. We can get good on this computer. If you are not good on this computer, go take some classes. You can go on YouTube and do free classes on everything. Learn how to do the different, social medias, whatever it is you like to do, network, find groups of people that inspire you. We're artistic, and we need to really get our hands into this whole earthy stuff. Get in there. If you specialize in oils or herbs or jewelry, stones that we need to ground with the earth, and that's what we're here to do. Because we're all realizing now that we have the internet, how quickly we can find out information like that about what's really going on in the world. I'm not saying all of Facebook is true, but we have access to things now. So there's a place for all of us. And I just want to encourage you guys. This is our year to put it all on the table. Get focused. Believe in yourself. And Saturn in Sagittarius is all about mastery. What do you master? What do you master? Are you a tattoo specialist? Then, go do it. Find what you love, because that's really important here. And teach, find a way. Here I am 4 years later teaching astrology when I was just hiding out in my own little world, and it's turned out to be an opportunity to give me a lot of freedom in my career. Okay, so I have creative freedom. And that, to me, at this time in my life is really important. So, I don't know, you guys. Hopefully I'm not rambling on. It's kind of harder to do this live. I feel like usually I don't do it live, and then I hit the button after, see if I liked it. So, I don't know. Just some things to think about. We were born during a movement. And if you look back at your life, think about how many movements you've been in since then. We're in another movement right now. We're moving into another movement. And I want you guys to catch the energy of this movement. And it's, Pluto and Virgo, we got the floor. This is our time. It's time to forgive yourself, look back, take the gems from the past. And you got to shake off that old karmic energy and move forward. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm really sorry about this thing here. So if you guys, answer the question below and put your birth date, or if you want to email me at crystallyn68@gmail.com, or if you'd like to get a reading, cowgirlastrologer.com. I have all kinds of cool options. Okay, so see you guys later.